that. And now back to share screen. Should write all this down. Okay, and play. There we are. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining Debbie and I today. Today, we're going to be talking about cultivating success and farming an area. So, farming a market, picking as a geographic area. And this is definitely, before we even go into some of the slides, this is something when any agent says, I'm going, I'm thinking about farming an area. And I would sit back and go and say, this is for a long period of time, because these are people that not always know you. So it's really putting your mark in a specific territory or area or city or development that you are the first thing they think about, and you got to go over it all different angles. So, but before we even finish, you always reach out to Debbie or myself. We're happy to go in this more in detail to help you farm an area, because it's always been a key to any successful realtors prospecting and marketing has been farming an area, and usually it starts with where you live or where you're known the most sometimes, or sold houses before, and kind of go from there. But we'll go right into the slides, and go ahead, Debbie. Sorry if I jumped in and told them the secret or the topic before we even started. I just ruined your exciting and beginning.
No, you're absolutely right. Previously, we've talked about how to find a farm area. So don't forget, you can use your MLS to find the addresses and such for sending out mailings and things like that. And if you can't remember, you can always contact me and we can go over that again, or you can watch our previous videos on that. But he's right, you guys. So many people are always like, well, I don't know where I'm going to get leads. This is where you get leads. This is where you do it. And it doesn't take, it says right there at the bottom. So it was on my first screen. Does not happen overnight. It doesn't. This is a long-term process. And if you are hitting people for a long-term process, they're going to remember you. Because if you send something out in the mail, for instance, in an area, even if it's a development like this or something like that, and for some reason that day they're not interested in that, it goes in the garbage, right? So if you only do it once, it's like, well, I did send out stuff, but nothing ever happened with it. You have to be consistent over and over and over again. And if you are consistent, they're going to be like, this person must be a true professional because look at all the times that they have sent me things. And that's why I tell you to send things out that they're going to keep.
Right, and you can always do research. I don't know if it's jumping the gun on the slides, is doing research on that development or that area. Say, and with MLS, you could do a drawing tool and see how many houses sold in the last 12 months, how many houses sold the previous 12 months, how many houses sold before that. And then you get to say, wow, this many houses. Let me just throw out a number. If say 10 houses for every 100 houses in a development are sold every year, 10% turnover rate in this area. So your target is let's get X amount of people that I'm going to farm, in hopes that there's going to be 10% of those people that are going to sell their house. I want a piece of that 10%, and how I'm going to go get it. So
Yep.
I don't know if I
And that is on the next slide. So
I
and there
always
you
do that. I
go,
always
right
do that. I
there.
always do that.
Right? You want to
Right.
choose a manageable area though. So places that you can do relatively easily if you live close by, or you want to choose an area like Tony said that you sold in before, because if you can prove that you've done something in that neighborhood, that's even better, right?
Mhm.
But uh, know who you're marketing to, which is also part of the research. Uh, are you marketing to baby boomers versus Gen Zs, or renters versus owners, or millennials? Do they live there? You can find all this information out. It's very easy to find it. If you're looking at trends websites or even your MLS, and your RPR tells you a ton of stuff. RPR tells you a lot of data and it's totally free for all agents to use. Use it. This is why you show people that you're the expert. More so
Mhm.
now than ever, we have to do that, right? And check out what the average price of the homes are there. Are there fixer-uppers there? Is it a new construction development? Because if you're hitting a new construction development and you think you're hitting that thing for investors, you're in the wrong area,
Right.
right? So know where you're supposed to be and who your audience is when you're trying to target them. Can go to the next one.
Next, there we go.
Here's some research ideas, right? So growth trends, like Tony talked about, news, businesses, if there's anything new that's coming up, like when they were building all these Amazon centers, that should have been a thing that people were talking about. Hey, if you want to go work at this new Amazon place, let's find you a house close by, right? Or maybe
Mhm.
they like shopping. Maybe there's new shopping centers coming on, or maybe there's new cultural things happening in the area. What he was talking about with analyzing market data, the turnover rate, the absorption rate. I have the absorption rate calculators. You guys don't have to figure this out yourself. There's tools available to you. You just have to ask for them, right? Use your MLS, use consensus.gov to get all these information pieces so that you know who you're talking to and who you're trying to target. Very, very important to know this. You also want to know your budget. So try and plan for 12 months by using mailers, flyers, postcards, recipes, sports schedules. You can find all that stuff on Express Docs on 21 Online if you're a Century 21 Homestar agent. Use your social media. Join your local Nextdoor group. Post newsletters and such from your resources online, or create your own if you're crafty. There's no reason why you can't. Canva is a great tool. They have a lot of free stuff, and even their paid version on Canva is not that expensive in the long run. We are marketing people. That's how we are supposed to build our business. Don't forget, you are every aspect of this business. If you're not crafty like that, maybe you know someone who is, and you can pay them a couple bucks to make your stuff for you. You don't have to spend a ton of money to get
Mhm.
this to work correctly for you. Um, be ready to answer questions when they come to you. When they say, "Oh, I saw your piece on the trends in this area. Can you expand on that more?" Don't look at them like a deer in the headlights. Know what you sent out to people, right? Keep track of all of that. Even if you're using spreadsheets or just notes or anything like that, Google is a great resource for anybody that has a bunch of free tools. When you're in your Gmail and you have those little dots up in the top right-hand corner, there is so much free stuff that you can use with Google. You don't have to pay for programs. It's all
Right.
right there,
Exactly.
you know. You want to track your progress and make sure that you're doing all that stuff. Here is some ways to um, go over the demographics and the market data and everything that we were talking about before. So turnover rate is the number of homes sold in the last 12 months divided by the number of homes in that area. That's going to tell you what the turnover rate is. The absorption rate tells you how long it takes to sell current inventory of homes at the current rate of sales. We've gone over this before in previous ones, and like I said, I do have the calculator. If you want it, all you got to do is ask me. I can send you the information. The demographics that we talk about and that we find all the time is all on www.census.gov. You can learn more about your market there versus the things that I just told you about earlier as well. This is all at your fingertips, you guys.
Mhm.
All you got to do is use it. Use your community events. Follow those things on. If you're a social media person, follow those calendars. Repost that stuff. You're allowed to repost other things. People love it when you are the person that not only just says, "Hey, do you want to buy or sell a house?" but you're giving them good information. Right now, they have the calendars of all the events that are going to be coming up this spring and this summer and this fall. You can be that go-to festival person, and go to those festivals and take your business cards with you and talk to people when you're out there. Go to the farmers market on Friday after work and buy your produce there and talk to the people there too. They have to buy and sell.
Yeah,
Everybody is up
gotta
for
get your
grabs.
all different angles, the cards, the pop pies, the door to doors, the parades, the everything. That's what just you're a business, and if you're a business in that area, you have to be present in all different kinds of things. And obviously, back to what Debbie said, you got to set your budget, but also your time and how much time you want to spend. A lot of this stuff doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but it's going to take you time to do it. And I think your time is more valuable than money. Like if agent said, "Hey, should I go door to door knocking or mail or send a mailer?" I go, "You better door to door knocking is better than mailing, or going around a festival or having a booth and talking to people is better than sending out a mailer or putting just an ad in a bulletin, because that doesn't get you talking to people. It helps. It can't hurt, but they're taking money where face-to-face time is more valuable."
Right. And also make sure that you have your brand done, have your website done, have your professional photos out there and done. Make a memorable tagline so that people can remember you, like Rhonda has. Help
Right.
me, Rhonda.
Yes.
She's always my fave, you
Yes.
guys. Make sure, like I said, that you establish your budget so that you know and keep to it as much as you possibly can. If you get a few extra bucks and you don't know what to spend it on, guess what I'm going to tell you to do, right? Put it
Right.
in your marketing budget.
Well, at least know that you should have stuff ready. So you have a commission coming, you're like, wow, I need X amount of dollars to do this. Don't go now, start thinking about it. Start thinking about things now. Like when I get $250, I know exactly where I want to put that into my marketing program, do this.
Yes.
So be ready for it.
Yes. But there's all kinds of different ways. Not only is there print marketing, but there's direct mail, social media, and like I said, going out and talking to people in person. See if you can sponsor an event if you have some extra dollars too. Oh, this is my fun one. The orchids, because I love orchids. I think they're absolutely beautiful. April 16th is National Orchid Day, and I went to Chat GPT and ask them for a perfect way to broadcast that out on social media. So you can find all these different things, like I said, using AI to help you figure out, well, how do I want to showcase National Orchid Day in a different way, right?
Right.
This, I just asked them, can you add National Orchid Day and real estate and give me a nice, fun way to broadcast that out on social media? And that's what they came up with, right? Do you
Hmm.
know that just like orchids, finding the perfect home requires patience, care, and keen eye for beauty? Just like orchids, they're beautiful, right? Whether you're
Hmm.
admiring the delicate petals of an orchid or a unique feature of a property, it's all about finding out that perfect match. And then you can go on to say, let me help you with that, and so on. So, it's just ways to
Right.
show
Connect.
your go ahead.
I was gonna say just connect with people. People
That's
flower.
what I was gonna
People
say.
love flowers. People, that's what we're giving you, all of these things, that national this, national that. They didn't pick these out of not a hat and just like that. No one's going to be interested. These are things that people are interested. That's why they're national whatever days.
Yeah, so many people do orchids and stuff, and they're going to relate to you if you're showing them things like that. So, our next sessions we have, this is one that's coming up on Friday, and this is for ACAR members only. But Cindy Lambert, who we absolutely love as an attorney, she's super knowledgeable, is going to be talking about the NAR settlement. So if you can get to that webinar at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's online. You should listen to Cindy, because I can't wait to hear what she has to say. She's very knowledgeable and knows a lot of stuff about what's going on in real estate. Of course, you have your Mike Ferrante DocuSign versus Dot Loop on the 24th. May 2nd, you're going to have Hush talking about the buyer broker commission and closing costs and giving us some tips and tricks on how we can help our buyers. I can't wait to go to that one too, so that we can find out how we're supposed to be doing this, right? But to those two on April 12th and May 2nd, if you can go to them, you really need to, because this is where you're going to find out the nitty, right? We're
Right.
giving you all kinds of ideas, but these guys are in it. they're in it and they're going to tell you how to do it correctly.
And the best thing about these classes, they're good classes, even if you don't need the CEs.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you get
Yeah.
both. It's, you get two things for the price of one of your time. So, and then a lot of agents have been asking me about different classes coming up. I'm really, so just a disclaimer, I ask them and they let me know. And as soon as as soon as they let Debbie and I know, we put it up here. So that we don't have a futures class. This is about as far as we go, right, Deb? So
This is, I don't
we
have
don't know
anything past
anymore.
June
Like, when are
6th.
you
So
gonna have this? I go, I wish I know too. You're the first people to know we put it on this list. If there was more classes into July, August, they would be on this list already. So I get every week I get that. When are you
yeah.
gonna have this or when are you gonna have that? That kind of
I
thing.
can tell you that there's a couple places like Elgar's doing core law at the end of the month. So if you need a core law class, you can go to Elgar for that. And if you're not a member of Elgar, I think you pay like $10
Yeah, I
and you
think,
can
well,
still take the class.
actually, technically, every CE class is really supposed to be open to all agents somehow. I know physical classes, obviously, it's a limited amount of people, but I think most online classes should technically be open to everybody. Don't quote me on that, but that's how the rule always was supposed to be anyways, other than
Yeah.
a physical location, and if they can't hand that. So, but again, if it's a cost to it, the boards are welcome to charge members a little bit less than other members, but they still have to keep it open to
Yep.
that. So
Yep.
good thing there. But that's it. Well, remember, farming, it doesn't have to be example. It doesn't have to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. It could be a small area. One of the things that agents got away from and should get back to is like just listed and just sold postcards and start your farming there. So all of a sudden you're like, well, how do I start? Well, start small. Did you have a listing that or how about this? I don't have any listings. For some reason, they think listings, buyers. We have some agents that when they have buyers, they have a short agreement with their buyer. Once the house sells and you get occupancy and you sit there, can I put a sold sign up in your yard for 30 days? As long as you have seller approval, guess what? The people in that neighborhood only remember the last sign they see.
Yeah.
So if you put a sold sign up, then hey, how about send just sold postcards to the street? Maybe 50 people, 100 people, put them on a farm list now. Go door to door saying, hey, I sold your neighbor's house. This is the new neighbors that moved in, and then start small. Take some of that commission and go, hey, well, I'm going to send out a mailer every day, send like a 5-year plan and say, this is what I want to accomplish with these many people. And then you could do the math. Like, okay, it's going to cost me this much money to send out postcards 2, 3 times a year. It's going to cost this door knock. I'm going to, if it's a little development, maybe there's some activities there you could sponsor or something like that, a blood drive or something. And you got to get those things ready. So it doesn't have to be hundreds. Sometimes people say farm, they think huge, think more of a garden.
Yeah, exactly. You want to
Gardening
keep
area.
it as small as your
Uh,
budget will allow because if you're hitting 500 people at a time, you can't afford it, right? So,
exactly. So you could just start small but start, and that's when I say start small, you could start with one sale, a buyer or seller on a street. You have commission, you come up with a budget, how many people you want to think for how long, and take a little bit out of that commission and start putting it there, start there. And then all of a sudden, after a year, 2 or 3, you have a bunch of these little farm areas that you're consistently do, but you already have the budget for it. So you took this money out for this and this and this, and then you don't have to worry about the money side thing. It's just your time to do. It's just organization. So hopefully that made some sense. But Debbie and I are here. If you want to reach out one-on-one, we're happy to help you. And with farming and anything that you need. So that's it for today. And we'll see you next week.
hi, everybody.
Bye-bye.